Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're really getting into something I think a lot of you grapple with. That feeling of being stuck in, study mode with English. You want to actually use it, live in it.
Right, not just learn about it.
Exactly. So our mission here is to pull out the best strategies, the real keys to making English feel, well, natural, effortless almost, part of your everyday.
Yeah, because we know you want learning that works, that sinks in properly.
And that's efficient too. So we're looking at a shift, really.
Yeah.
Moving English from just a subject
To a tool you use all the time.
Yeah.
And the foundation for that, the core, rests on three things: think, speak, and repeat.
think, speak, repeat. Okay.
We're going to break down how these three actions work together to build that real fluency, that feeling where the language just, flows.
Okay. Sounds good. Let's jump right in then. First up, thinking in English. Now, I can imagine some people wondering, why focus there? Inside your head, isn't it all about, speaking practice?
That's a really perceptive question. And it hits on a major sticking point for lots of learners.
Okay.
See, what often happens, maybe without you even realizing it, is this constant translation. You think in your native language first.
Right.
Then you search for the English words, the grammar.
Hmm.
It's this extra step.
Uh-huh.
And that step
Yeah.
causes delays, maybe awkward phrasing sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
and it really can, undermine your confidence.
Yeah, I can see that.
So thinking directly in English, it just cuts out that middleman. It's like taking the direct path instead of a detour.
That makes a lot of sense. Like walking versus trying to run an obstacle course in your head just to say something simple.
Exactly.
I definitely remember that feeling. Trying to juggle all the bits and pieces before speaking.
We've all been there. And the interesting thing is, starting to think in English doesn't mean you need, perfect sentences or huge vocabulary right away. Not at all.
So how does it start?
It starts really small.
Yeah.
Simple daily thoughts. I'm hungry. Where are my keys? It's a nice day today. Stuff like that.
Just the little things that pop into your head anyway.
Precisely. The goal at first isn't perfect grammar. It's just training your brain to operate in English, to connect ideas straight to English words.
Okay, rewiring things a bit.
Yeah, making the language more immediate, more accessible in your mind.
All right, so we're getting the internal monologue going in English. But, okay, moving on to actually speaking, what about the common problem? I don't have anyone to practice with every day.
Ah, yes, a very common concern.
Yeah.
And this is where self-talk comes in. It's powerful, but often kind of overlooked.
Talking to yourself.
Yeah. You don't always need a partner. Just consciously speaking English aloud to yourself. You can narrate what you're doing, like, okay, now I'm making some tea. Or you could even role-play little scenarios. Ordering a coffee, asking for directions out loud. It's valuable practice.
I admit, when I first heard about that, it sounded, well, a bit weird, talking to myself.
Yeah, it can feel a bit silly initially.
But I actually tried it. Just small things like describing stuff I saw while walking or planning my day out loud in English when I was alone in the car.
Yeah.
And you know what? It genuinely seemed to help. It made thinking and then speaking those simple things faster when I actually needed to.
Exactly. And a huge benefit is that it's a totally zero pressure zone. No judgment, no worrying about mistakes.
Yeah.
You just experiment. It builds confidence. You're actively producing the language. And crucially, you're training your brain to form English sentences quickly. That directly helps fluency in real conversations later.
Building those mental pathways.
Precisely. Getting the language ready to go.
Okay, so we're thinking in English, we're speaking it, even if just to ourselves. That brings us to the third part, repeat. Why is repetition so, essential for fluency?
Well, think about any skill. Playing piano, playing a sport.
Right.
You don't get good just by understanding the rules, do you? You need practice. Constant, deliberate repetition.
Practice makes perfect, or at least better.
Exactly. That repetition makes the language automatic. Your brain stops having to consciously work so hard for every single word or phrase. It starts recognizing patterns, recalling things faster.
So just seeing a word once isn't enough. We need to actually say it and use it.
Yes, definitely. Repeating things out loud really helps lock them in. And one really good technique for this is called shadowing.
Shadowing. Okay, what's that involve?
It's basically listening to a native speaker, maybe from a podcast clip or a short video, and you repeat what they say right after them. You try to copy their intonation, their rhythm, the pronunciation.
I've tried that. It feels a bit like just mimicking at first, but
But it does more than that. You absorb the natural flow, the music of the language, almost subconsciously.
yeah, I could see that.
And it's not just about copying sounds. It's also vital to actively reuse new words and phrases you learn. Put them in different sentences, different contexts.
So if I learn, say, confuse, don't just know the definition.
Right. Try using it. The instructions confused me. He looked confused. It was a confusing situation. Using it in different ways helps you really own the word, makes it part of your active vocabulary.
Got it. Internalizing it.
Exactly.
Okay, think, speak, repeat. The why is clear. Now, the big question. How do we actually build this into a daily routine, without it feeling like dot homework?
Yeah, the practical side. The key is definitely consistency, but also keeping it manageable. Small steps. Here's a possible daily routine, just as an idea.
Okay, let's hear it.
Morning mindset. Maybe just 5 minutes, right when you wake up, before even getting out of bed. Just mentally describe your day ahead in simple English. Okay, it's Tuesday. I need to go to work. I feel okay today. Simple stuff.
Just setting the stage mentally in English.
Exactly. Then, self-talk during tasks. Maybe 10, 15 minutes. Spread out. While you're doing everyday things, cooking, walking, whatever, narrate your actions. Now I'm chopping onions. I'm waiting for the bus.
Using those mundane moments.
Yes. Then maybe dedicate think in English moments. 5 or 10 minutes. Just consciously think in English, internally, about your tasks, plans, random thoughts. I must remember to call Sarah. What should I have for lunch? No need to speak.
Focused internal practice.
Right. And then shadowing. Maybe 10 minutes. Find a short audio or video clip you like. Listen and repeat after the speaker. Focus on the rhythm and sounds. Start easy if you need to.
Mimicking the flow.
And finally, night reflection. Just 5 minutes before sleep. Ask yourself, what did I do today? And answer in simple English sentences. I finished that project, I met a friend, I learned a new phrase.
Okay, that actually sounds doable, broken down like that.
It's meant to be. Small chunks, focused activities, it fits into the gaps.
And I like how it really brings English inside your head into your daily thinking, even if you're not surrounded by English speakers.
That's the whole point. You're giving your brain these little regular English workouts. And over time, those words, those phrases, they start coming much more easily when you need them, automatically.
Makes sense. Okay, so to help people stick with this, what about tools? Any apps or tips to keep the momentum going?
Oh, definitely. There's some great tools for vocabulary repetition. Flashcard apps like Anki or Quizlet are fantastic. You can make your own cards or find pre-made sets.
Yeah, spaced repetition is powerful.
It really is. And do you hear how words are actually used by native speakers in context? Youglish is brilliant. You type in a word.
And it shows you YouTube clips using it.
Exactly. Loads of them. Great for pronunciation and seeing different uses.
That is a good one.
Also, try setting your phone's assistant Siri, Google Assistant, to English. Use it for simple things. What's the weather? Set a timer. It's small interactions, but it adds up.
Good idea. More exposure.
And here's what. Use the Voice Memos app on your phone. Record yourself speaking English. Maybe just your self-talk or reading something. Then listen back.
Ooh, that could be revealing. Maybe slightly painful, but useful.
Maybe. But it helps you spot things you might want to work on. Pronunciation, flow. Also, a really simple one. Change your phone language to English. Your social media, too.
Passive immersion, kind of.
Exactly. It just puts more English in front of your eyes naturally throughout the day. And finally, don't forget to track your progress and celebrate the small wins. Did you manage 10 minutes of self-talk today? Great. Acknowledge it. It keeps you motivated.
Yeah, recognizing the effort is important. Okay, we've got the actions, the routine, the tools, but it feels like there's something deeper needed too, a mindset thing.
Absolutely. That's probably the most crucial piece for long-term success. You need to adjust how you see yourself with English.
How so?
Try to consciously shift from thinking, I am learning English, to I use English every day. It's subtle, but powerful.
Changing the identity label almost.
Sort of. Focus on active engagement, not on achieving perfection right now. Perfection comes later, maybe. Engagement is key now.
So less like studying a subject, more like incorporating a habit?
Exactly. Make using English as normal, a part of your day, as, I don't know, brushing your teeth or checking emails. It's just something you do.
Right.
The ultimate goal isn't just speaking the words. It's about, developing an English-speaking mind, thinking like an English speaker thinks. And that think, speak, repeat method, that's the pathway. It takes you from being a student of the language to being a confident user of the language.
That's a great way to put it, from student to user.
Okay, this has been incredibly insightful. So, boiling it down,
Mm.
start small, be consistent, think, speak, repeat daily.
That's the core of it. Train your brain to live in English, not just visit it for study sessions. Make it your internal operating system, so to speak.
And remembering that progress comes from the steady practice, not chasing some impossible idea of instant perfection.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Consistency beats intensity over the long run.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for breaking all that down for us. Really practical stuff.
My pleasure. Happy to share. And for you listening, here's a final thought to take away. What's just one tiny thing you could do right now, or maybe later today, to start thinking in English just a little bit more? Pick one small action. That first step can make all the difference.